Hey everyone, this book is called What's the Time, Grandma Wolf? It's written and illustrated by Ken Brown, and this book might sound a little familiar. It might remind you a little bit of Little Red Riding Hood. There's a wolf in the woods, and everyone said, she's big and she's bad, she's old and she's hairy. Best leave her alone, she's mean and she's scary. They all look pretty scared. But we wanted to know, so we crept a bit closer. Look, you can see the wolf right there in the house. And Piglet, who's brave, shouted, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" And she opened her eyes. They were very, very big, and yawned. "It's time I got up." So we crept a bit closer, and Fawn, who's shy, whispered, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" And she pricked up her ears, they were very, very big ears, and said, "It's time I brushed my teeth." So we crept a bit closer, and Crow, who was noisy, squawked, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" And she took down a kettle. It was very, very big and said, "It's time I scrubbed the stew pot." Looks like she's getting ready to cook something. What do you think she's going to cook? So we crept a bit closer, and Squirrel, who's sassy, squeaked, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" And she fetched a sharp axe. It was very, very big, and said, "It's time to chop the wood." So we crept a bit closer, and Badger, who's bold, barked, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" She picked up 2 pails, which were very, very big, and said, "It's time I fetched some water." So we crept a bit closer, and Duckling, who's silly, quacked, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" And she looked down her nose. It was very, very big, and she said, "It's time to light the fire." So we crept even closer, and Rabbit, who's reckless, giggled, "What's the time, Grandma Wolf?" "It's dinner time!" What do you think is going to happen? Is the wolf going to try to eat the animals? So, we all settled down to a vegetable stew, and old Grandma Wolf, what did she do? She read us our favorite story. So she didn't eat them after all. But look, if you look closely, you can see her favorite story. Do you recognize that? It looks like she's reading Little Red Riding Hood. That's also a good one with a Grandma Wolf character.